Good afternoon, students. In our previous video lesson, we have studied about the different types of angles such as complementary angles, supplementary angles, and how to find their supplements. Today we will be discussing about the parallel lines and transversal. So let us know what is that. Suppose if I draw one line, if I name it as L, in order to get a parallel line, another line has to be like this, let it be M, such that they do not intersect at any point. If you produce these two lines like this on this side or on this side, similarly you do this for the first line also, you will see that they will never meet. So what is the first condition for two lines to be parallel? Is that they will never meet if also they are produced on both the sides. Second condition is that they will never intersect with each other. They will never intersect with each other. So now suppose you have two lines which are parallel to each other. In order to have some relations between these two parallel lines, one line has to intersect these two lines, which is called the transversal. Let this line intersect these two lines. Let it be P. If I name this line as P, you can see that this line P has intersected this line L as well as M at two different points, at this point as well as on this point. So students, I hope you can see that when this transversal has intersected these two parallel lines, it has formed total 8 angles. So let us name that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope you can see that 4 angles are formed at this first point of intersection with the first line, and 4 angles are formed with the second line when this transversal has intersected at this point. Now we will learn some properties of parallel lines. So what is the first property? That whenever a transversal is intersecting two parallel lines, you are getting some pair of angles. So let us learn what are those pair of angles. First is our linear pair. What do you mean by linear pair? If there are only two angles on a straight line, those two angles are called linear pair. In the diagram you can see that L is a straight line, and on that line two angles are there, angle 1 and angle 2. So these two angles will be called as linear pair. Are these the only pair for linear angles in this diagram? No. Similarly, on this line only, if you see the other side of the straight line, you can see that two more pairs are there, that is 3 and 4. Similarly, on this angle, we are getting 6 and 5. On the other side of the line M, we are also getting 7 and 8. Now, if you consider this line as the straight line, because transversal is a straight line, so 1 and 4 is also a pair of linear pairs. 3 and 4 is also a pair of linear pair. 5 and 6, 7 and 8 also. So let us write down the pairs. Angle 1 and angle 2 is a linear pair. Angle 3 and 4 is a linear pair. Angle 5 and 6 is a linear pair. Angle 7 and 8 is also a linear pair. Now considering this transversal, we are also getting two linear pairs, which is 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 6 and 7, and 5 and 8. Now what is the role of this linear pair? Whenever we are getting a pair of angle which is forming a linear pair, their sum is always 180 degree. That means for a linear pair, sum of angles is always 180 degree. Whenever you will get, so students, we have got sum of angles will be 180 degree for a linear pair. That means we can say that angle 2 plus angle 1 will be always 180 degree. Angle 3 plus angle 4 will be equals to 180 degree. So like this we can do for all the angles. So how many linear pairs we have got here? Total 8 linear pairs. We have got total of 8 linear pairs from the diagram. Next we are coming to the second pair of angles. Next pair of angles is our corresponding angles. What is the definition of corresponding angles? They lies on the same side of the transversal. Second, one angle is interior and another angle is exterior. I hope you are familiar with the terms interior and exterior. Interior means the part which is between two lines. Suppose these two lines are parallel lines. The interior section of these two lines are called the interior part of these two lines, and the angles between them will be the interior angles, and which are not in this section will be the exterior angles. The part which I am shading, this is the interior part, because this part is in between these two parallel lines. So the angles in this section will be called as the interior angles. And how many such angles we are getting? 3, 4, 5, 6, total 4 angles. Now let us come back to the definition of corresponding angles. What does it say? It says that they lies on the same side of the transversal. They lies on the same side of the transversal means this is the transversal. If you consider that this is the right hand side and this is the left hand side, first we are considering the right hand part. So how many such angles you are getting here on the right hand side? 1, 4, 5 and 6. The next line of the definition says one angle has to be interior and one angle has to be exterior. So this angle 1 and this angle 5, you can see one is exterior and another one is interior, and it also lies on the same side of the transversal. So these two angles will be called corresponding angles. So how many pairs we are getting here? 1 and 5. So these are not the only pair of corresponding angles we are getting. Similarly, can you say that angle 2 and angle 6 is also a corresponding pair, because it is lies on the same side of the transversal, as well as one is exterior and another one is interior. Similarly, we can also say angle 4 and angle 8 is also corresponding angles, lying on the same side of the transversal, and one is interior and another one is exterior. Similarly, angle 3 and angle 7 are also corresponding angles, because one is interior and another one is exterior, and it lies on the same side of the transversal. So how many such pairs we are getting? 1 and 5, 4 and 8, 2 and 6, 3 and 7. And remember, whenever two lines are parallel and if a transversal intersects them, the corresponding angles are always equal. That means we can write that angle 1 is equals to angle 5, angle 4 is equals to angle 8, Angle 2 is equals to angle 6 and angle 3 is equals to angle 7. I hope you have understood which are the corresponding pairs. Next, let us go to the next pair of angles. So our next pair of angles is alternate interior angles. So what is the definition of alternate interior angles? They lies on the opposite side of transversal and they are both interior angles. So from the first line of the definition we can say that 3, 5, 4, 6, these are all lying on the opposite side of the transversal, and from the second line of the definition we can say that both the angles has to be interior. So 3, 4, 5 and 6, these are all interior angles. So how many such angles you are getting? Suppose this angle 3. What is the alternate position of 3? Which is 5. You can see this is the opposite side of the transversal, and 3 and 5 are on the alternate positions. So 3 and 5 will be our alternate pair. Similarly, we can say that 4 and 6, these two are also alternate pairs. How is this occurring? Let us see. Suppose you have a round table and 4 numbers are positioned like this: 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you take 3 and if you want to find the alternate position of that, you can directly see that 5 is the alternate position of 3, or you can say 3 is the alternate position of 5, vice versa. 6 is the alternate position of 4, or you can say 4 is the alternate position of 6. So if you skip 1 after 3, you are getting 5, or if you skip 1 after 6, you are getting 4. So like this we are getting the alternate pairs. And for a parallel line, alternate pairs are always equal. That means we can say that angle 3 is equals to angle 5, angle 4 is equals to angle 6. I hope you have understood the positioning of the alternate angles and how they are related. Let us learn the next pair, which is co-interior angles, or you can call them allied angles. What is the definition of it? Co-interior angles, this says that they lie on the same side of the transversal. Second, both the angles are interior. Now if you read the first statement of the definition, they lie on the same side of the transversal. If you consider one side of the transversal, suppose the right hand side, so how many angles you are getting? 1, 4, 5, 8. Now from the second line it has said both the angles are interior. So in interior angles which you are getting 4 and 5, isn't it? So 4 and 5 are the interior angles. So how many such pairs you are getting? See, this 4 and 5, these two are co-interior angles, as well as 3 and 6 is also co-interior angles because they are on the same side of the transversal and they are both interior. Now what is the property of this co-interior angles? For parallel lines, co-interior angles give you a sum of 180 degree. That means angle 4 plus angle 5 will be equals to 180 degree, or you can say angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree. So our co-interior pair of angles always give you a sum of 180 degree for a parallel line only. Next we are coming to the last pair of angles, which is vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. So what is the definition of it? Vertically opposite angles are those angles which are positioned vertically up and down, and they are only occurred when two lines intersect at one point. They occur when two lines intersect at one point. They are positioned vertically. Now if I show you one simple diagram, suppose these two lines have intersected. Whenever two lines intersect, you get a form of an X type of figure. So at this point they have intersected. Suppose this is one angle A, that means this position, this is the vertical position of A, so this angle will be also A. And suppose this angle is B, so this is the vertical position of this, we can also have the angle B. That suggests that whenever two lines intersect at one point, we are getting two pairs of vertically opposite angles. If you come back to this original diagram, you will see that L is a straight line, P is also a straight line. When they're intersecting at one point, they have intersected at this point, that means this 1 and this 3 are vertically opposite angles, as well as 3 and 4 are also vertically opposite angles. Similarly, 5 and 7 are vertically opposite angles. Similarly, 6 and 8 are also vertically opposite angles. Now you need to remember, vertically opposite angles are always equal. It doesn't matter that you have a parallel line or not. You can see in this diagram, these two lines are obviously not parallel because they have intersected at one point. Still, the vertically opposite angles are equal. Now let us combine all these angles in one diagram. Let us understand with an example. Now suppose you have two parallel lines A, B, C, D. I have named it, and suppose the transversal is like this. Doesn't matter, the transversal can be in any form. Name it as EF. And suppose one angle is given to you here 60 degree, and you have been asked to find out all the remaining 7 angles. How will you calculate? Now you can see, just now we have learned, if this angle is 60 degree, this part is also 60 degree because it is vertically opposite angles. Similarly, can we say that if this angle is 60 degree, this is also 60 degree because these angles are alternate angles? Or you can say that if this is 60, this is also 60 because they are corresponding angles. And similarly, this angle is also 60 degree because they are vertically opposite angles. Now see, we have got total 4 angles and the remaining 4 angles are left out. Now AB is a straight line, and we know that this angle this unknown angle and this 60 degree are making up a linear pair. We have learned just few minutes ago. So if this one is 60 and if the sum of angles on a straight line is 180 degree, so how will you calculate this angle? Simply you will find out the supplement of 60 degree, 180 minus 60, which is how much? 120 degree. That means if this angle is 120 degree, this angle is also 120 degree because it is corresponding angles. If this is 120, this angle is also 120 degree. See, they are vertically opposite. Again, if this one is 120, see, this is also 120 because they are alternate angles. Similarly, we can say if this is 120, this angle is also 120 degree, corresponding angles, or you can say they are vertically opposite angles. So this is how we calculate the different types of angles using the properties of parallel lines. I hope you have understood, students. We will continue our next part in the next video. Thank you.